and did everything right.
Yeah, that moment in time is pretty funny because, again, the move from jjakji was so strong and so good, but then he loses like literally a minute and a half to 2 minutes later that a lot of people would be like, well, no, that's why he lost, is that he did that. It's like, no, actually it's not.
Yeah.
It was the decisions just after that, but it's not even that jjakji's decisions were so poor, it's that MC's were so right.
Yes, exactly, that is the case. I think that jjakji just played a fantastic game right there, and I think the series is going to be very, very close if he keeps that up.
All right, well, this has been pretty awesome so far. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are great. Here we are on day 2 of DreamHack Winter 2014. We've already seen one player go. MMA is waiting up in the heavens to fight one of these two guys. I don't know why I said fight like that. Came out weird, just looking on the A and I. But let's go ahead and introduce these players. In the top right-hand side, he calls himself the Boss Toss. A lot of people know him as Min Chul. Yeah, that was the most awkward introduction ever.
A lot of people know him as Min Chul. Well, more of them know him as MC.
Yeah, I don't know. There you go. You saved me.
See?
I'm completely comfortable with that being the worst introduction of all of DreamHack Winter 2014.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, Nathanius is still, he's got a few more rounds to go.
Yeah, he does. All right, and his opponent in the bottom right, putting on a fantastic Terran game in that last one, but now down 1 game. It is My Insanity jjakji.
One of the funniest experiences that I'm having is I'm usually a fairly sharp-witted kind of guy. I will say dumb jokes. I'll say dumb stuff. Absolutely. But my brain works pretty well. But when you travel, like we've been doing like 3 or 4 trips now in a row.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be like, "Gosh, this game is so great, applesauce," and then I'll be like, "Why did I just say applesauce?" And then I'll be like, "Well, no, that's not true because I was thinking of dinosaurs, so I don't know why applesauce came out." And I'm just like, my brain's all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm 85% Starcraft, so I think I'm still mostly functional.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I never actually think of applesauce anymore, but now you have me thinking of it. And
applesauce is pretty
But
great.
I do think of dinosaurs quite often. They're pretty cool.
Certainly, especially with Jurassic World coming out. Any chance
Looks like
to see
a
Chris
great
Pratt.
movie. I just
They've
cannot
combined
wait.
Brontosauruses with platypuses.
It is. It's coming out straight on VHS, right?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
needs to make back a quarter of its production value first, and then they'll put it on VHS. MC going with the double gas, and there is a pylon at the base of his base. Let's talk a little bit about the map, though, because again, this is a map that I sensed you were kind of surprised to see in the map pool because it's not the. It's good for PvT for sure. It's not a bad map, but it has some weaknesses, and one of the ones is if they're top right versus bottom right, like we're seeing right now. Basically, think of your base as a giant helipad. It's like, just go ahead and land all over here, please.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of surface area for dropping. And, you know, it's funny because I really do feel like this is a map in PvT, which just, the balance of the map shifts throughout the game. Like, you know, in the early game, it's like pretty even, I would say. And then, you know, Protoss can get up to 4 bases like pretty easily and defend it. But after that, taking the 5th base can be quite difficult against Terran, whereas Terran can kind of expand around a little bit more easily.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a funny type of map. And oh my, is that a Stargate over?
It is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a proxy Stargate. We're also getting weirded out by the frozen SCV on the other side of the map. This might be a fast 3rd CC.
And that's like the location you won't scout. That would be an LZ Gamer command center.
And you're referencing old school. By the way, proxy Stargate, what's up? My name's jjakji.
Wow.
I'm looking at you, and this is good. This is proxy Stargate again is almost kind of predictable, and there is that. By the way, this is a Straylock 3rd CC. There's the sickest reference. His entire Brood War career was based on sneaking a 3rd command center.
Yeah, he was quite good at that. But I mean, this is like the location of it is an LZ Gamer location because it is the location where you literally will never scout it.
I mean, I guess
it's just like quote unquote the dumbest place you could put it, which makes it the smartest place you could put it. Because why would Protoss ever check there? They wouldn't. They might check the top left main eventually, but that place is like the last place you'd look.
You're absolutely right, but you're breaking my heart that you didn't get that Straylock reference as strong as it was.
It was good. It was a good one.
Missile turret's going up, and of course the Oracle's going to spend a little bit of time making sure that the Reaper doesn't just, again, start working on the 2nd pylon, but also just denying information, essentially. And at this point in time with your proxy Oracle, you already know that there's missile turrets with his Marines. You're not going to show up and he's like, well, I wasn't planning on you going through with it, and then, you know, you kill everything. It doesn't work that way. But I really like this third CC from jjakji. I can't hype it up enough. Yes, it's in a dumb/super intelligent spot, but what I like about it is it just throws things off, because with this Oracle, one of the strengths of it is how much you're going to scout. And as he sees like more and more barracks coming up, as he sees the factory, but not a third CC on a super macro map like this, I really think MC is going to be thrown for a loop. It would be amazing if you prove me wrong and instead kind of picked up on something missing here.
Yeah.
That would be a huge read.
And you know what else I really like is that he put like one of the barracks behind the minerals. Now this is like, I'm going to get super deep mind game for a moment here.
Okay.
There's things missing from his base. If you can just look at the whole base, if these are all out in normal locations in the middle of his base, you're going to look at that as MC very quickly. Your mind is going to assess it and you're going to say, there's like some minerals missing here.
Yep.
Where do you have something proxy? What's going on? But because he had to look extra hard, that kind of messes up your brain a little bit, because you're like, wait, there's really a lot of stuff missing here, like super a lot. So you're flying around, you're like, oh, okay, he's kind of putting it behind his turret to try to stop my Oracle. And that kind of throws you off from realizing that, in fact, there's over 500 minerals missing from this base.
What I like about that is I don't disagree with you for even a second, but MC just cuts through it like a hot knife through butter. He's like, well, I'm actually just doing a blink. I'm just doing a blink timing attack. So all that thinking and metagaming you're talking about, nah. I'm going to blink stalker. So here he comes. No forge. Make no mistake. There's even just one of the gases missing at the natural. This is an MC classic. He's going to go for it. That pylon on the left side of the third over here does get picked up, and he's going to go to work, but he's going to have to back away because here comes an Oracle and the stalkers.
Well, that's some free Marines right there, unfortunately. The Stalkers do come up. Of course, he can kill those rocks and start to work up that way, and he does have 2 flying units to spot. So this is like a really, really strong blink attack, and that is a lot of Stalkers.
It's a lot. I'm telling you guys, MC has this agreement with Blizzard where he just gets an extra 4 or 5. This is an empty bunker. He jumps on top of it. Yeah, there's bio up here, but between the time stop, the Oracle, and the sheer number of Stalkers, MC is marching towards a 2-0. He's not blinking back just yet. The Bioforce starting to kind of hold and stabilize, but what I'm looking at is 900 minerals over there. He's going to warp in 7 new fresh Stalkers.
Oh my God,
and I just don't know if jjakji can keep up with this.
Well, his stim is about to finish. He's making 2 Marauders at a time, so I'm definitely not counting him out quite yet, but here we go. MC going towards these bunkers right now. Not really focus fire anything, so it doesn't look like he's going to break through at this moment.
Yeah, kind of a weird attack, because honestly, yeah, he's doing a little bit of damage. There are no medevacs out, but there are medevacs starting to come out. So you just named it. We have stim finishing up. These bunkers have not cracked. Medevacs are starting to come out. I was pretty hyped up on looking at MC just kind of clobbering jjakji here, but actually, as time goes on, it's getting better and better for jjakji.
Well, right now,
it seems that way.
Yeah, it certainly is, because we do know he has that third base. If he didn't, we're like, oh, okay, you know, MC still, like, he can probably transition out of this if it doesn't go well in the next 2 little pokes.
7
maybe.
zealots.
Seems like he really wants to break through here and control.
He's going to try. jjakji getting a little bit bold, steps forward. There's a lot of SCVs over here. jjakji knows that MC's not one to pull his punches. Zealots coming out in large numbers. There's 7 to join the one who's already there for a total of 8.
I feel like, you know, with the amount of Zealots he's made, just like a tiny thing, I feel like he should have made a sentry or 2.
Holy
but
cow.
Oh, here he goes. He's actually trying to break through. As soon as those medevacs leave, he smells weakness. The Zealot's coming up. He's going to break through the 2 bunkers. The Zealot's still tanking a lot of damage. He still has quite a few blinks left as well.
Yeah, so many SCVs going down here as well. The Bioforce kind of kiting over to the right side, but there's so many Stalkers, he's going to have to back away. A 20 supply advantage for MC. Another bunker is over here as well, but this mineral line's been kind of contaminated with Protoss filth. How did MC know? Okay, there's no observer here, there's no Oracle. He didn't know, but Lady Luck is just gleaming at MC at these times.
Luck favors the prepared in control. It favors those who are willing to take the risk, or who are willing to continually poke in and see if there's weakness. There was weakness this time, and jjakji, with that one move, has set himself well behind.
And he's now working on the starport, and jjakji knows that's a pivotal structure. He's going to have to fight for it. He comes out kind of through a crevasse, and he's going to fight into a concave of blink stalkers. The medevacs don't really have energy. Marauder's doing a lot of damage for right now, but great blink micro so far from MC. Actually, as I say that, it kind of stumbles there, but there's just no more jjakji. He doesn't have a natural, keep in mind, and actually 10 supply cut in. He's going to win this fight right here. Here comes some more stalkers, but there's still too many Marauders. Kind of missed call. This is great for jjakji. He's going to hold here. And MC keeps fighting. He's throwing this away.
And yeah, he's made 3 Zealots. It's like, well, those Zealots aren't going to do anything. You have one Stalker now. One Medevac going across the map. It could do like a lot of damage here. So
yeah, and MC warps it at home. He's gonna pull back. He killed a lot of SCVs.
Yeah.
He did not kill the orbital. And gosh, this is where that third CC is just killing. Because MC's like, you know what? You're not mining your natural.
Yeah.
I probably stayed too long and lost too many units, but I've got a robust 2-base economy, and you're on like 1. I'll go home. Little does he know that third is now fully saturated. It's had mules dropped on it all day long. jjakji's got a way better economy than MC's prepared to know about.
If I'm MC here, I put myself slightly ahead, but he's actually a bit behind.
Yeah,
so
he's definitely behind.
He might play this wrong. Oh, no!
It's going to happen. Well,
okay, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Could have been way worse.
Yeah, it's it could have been absolutely terrible.
Now keep in mind, MC has not been upgrading. There's your first robo. He's maxed out in Chronobus energy because he, quite frankly, hasn't really needed to use that as well. I mean, I don't want to be too definitive about this, but jjakji's ahead and getting further ahead. Now with a 10 supply advantage, he's upgraded. He's got these medevacs that are going unimpeded. MC's just warping in more Zealots and Stalkers, which is not an answer to this army as it develops. And I mean, this army moving across from jjakji's not super big, but it's just mobile, hits hard, and heals.
Yeah, and without charge, a bunch of slow Zealots won't do much. You know, he can, even if he force fields here, the medevacs just pick everything up.
Yeah, nice target fire there, getting the 1 of 2 sentry Stalkers coming down to join. I believe this Mothership Core is new, yes, so it doesn't even actually have a photon overcharge. And MC, I mean, I was ready to talk about this being a 2-0, what brilliant play, and all of a sudden this gets flipped on its head. He just stayed too long, engaged too long, and he just didn't have the information. He thought he was facing a 1-base Terran player, but nope, MC, you got bamboozled.
He absolutely did. I mean, a Marauder good unit I do here, and it's really plowed through this army of MC. He doesn't really have a whole lot left to do here. That's too many medevacs, and jjakji ties up the series 1-1 with a nice sneaky command center. If he didn't have that command center hidden, well, I guess the point is, if he made the third command center in his main base, he probably loses this game.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And MC does as well. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of for why he stayed as long as he did. He was winning that fight, and then it hit that kind of critical moment where Protoss is like, look, I've blinked back all the wounded Stalkers. I now need to disengage, let the shields regenerate, and reinforce. But instead, he was like, no, this is the final moments of a Terran that's just wasting my time.
Yes.
Okay, yes, you killed all the Stalkers, but you literally threw all your SCVs at me. Your army is minimal as well. I'm not worried about this. But with that third orbital, he's actually just totally fine to remake his entire army.
Yeah, it definitely threw him off quite a bit. But MC is a player that doesn't get rattled, really.
No.
And just about anything could happen, and he would just come into the next game and be like, okay, time to try to win again. So I don't think it's really going to affect him. Already this series becoming one of my favorite of the tournament.